Hey guys, Antonio here, Enhanced Movements. I'm going to be talking about kind of a shoulder series here for the next couple of weeks. We're going to start off by talking kind of just basic shoulder mechanics, and then over the next couple of weeks we'll talk about pressing and pulling and how that applies to the performance and or reducing pain if you're having shoulder pain when doing those types of things. So let's dive in. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about is the mechanics of the shoulder, right? I apologize for this ungodly finger right now. Stitches, splint, it looks bigger and worse than it really is. So you're going to see it when I'm trying to do these things. You have a socket, ball and socket, right? Now the interesting thing about the shoulder joint is it's more of a golf ball on a tee situation than really like a socket that sits around. Now on that tee we do have a labrum, which is kind of like this extension of that cup, which will help keep that in place. But the primary structures that help keep that head of the humerus in the socket is going to be your rotator cuff and your ligaments. Okay. Now, as we're talking over the next couple series about this, we're going to talk about centration. So I want you to think about like the center of that socket and the head sitting in there. It's going to function best at that centered or centrated position. If the head of the humerus is translating either forward, up, down, or backwards, we're going to see an imbalance in terms of muscular tension as well as articulation surface area. So if this is the head of the humerus, right, and it's spinning and rolling and kind of coming up and down, if it's shifting while doing that, and what I mean by that is, let's say I'm coming up overhead and my shoulder's kind of dumping forward, that's going to change the dynamics and how that can spin in the joint. It can cause excess stress to structures such as the rotator cuff or the labrum, and that could lead to issues down the road, and or more likely what you'll probably experience is just like pain as you're doing certain things. So I'm going to just show an example of how this applies to a push-up type of scenario, and then next week we're actually going to talk about the push-up and horizontal pressing, like for instance also the burpee would be included in that, in terms of what we're trying to achieve here and what we're talking about. So let's say I'm doing a incline push-up here like this, and see if you can kind of tell if I'm coming down here and you see kind of this, where the space here where you can't even like see my neck or my chin, my shoulders are actually shrugging up as I'm doing that. Okay, so as I'm starting to, it kind of looks like that in this place, as I'm starting to lower myself, this is happening. Okay, if this is coming up and dipping forward, the head of the humerus is coming up and forward, and we're getting excess wear and tear on that anterior part or front side of the shoulder, as well as the back side is getting stretched and it's trying to like pull us back into place. So that's kind of where we're going to be going in the future. So this is kind of just to set the ground level, set the foundation of some of the terminology and things we're going to be talking about as it relates to the shoulder joint and pressing and pulling. So today's Thursday. I'm probably going to get something out next Wednesday or Thursday again, and it's going to be about push-ups and burpees. So if you have pain when doing those motions, we'll see if we have time. I might throw overhead in there as well. That's probably another one in and of itself. So if you have shoulder pain when doing pressing type of movements with burpees or something like that, be sure to tune in to not only this one, but next week as well.